What is going on? Okay, that says we're live. We're live here. All right. Do my video upload. Yes. Perfect. That's like almost perfect timing. Sweet. So, if you're just hopping in, excuse me. I've been working on this cube for a very long time, and I've got this ring here to finish. And I haven't been on in a little over 2 weeks for many reasons. But that gave me some time to grind out all these black and stainless pieces that I needed to make. And what is going on with the music? I think I need a driver update. What is this? Are we dropped frames already? No, I don't want AI highlighter. Well, we'll see how this goes. Mac, how you doing? All right. Music. I hope I don't have to do that every time and it just plays them all. Oh, you know what it's trying to do? Okay, I'm going to have to do that every time. Stoner Mailer 23, how you doing? For those of you who don't follow Stoner Mailer 23, you should. Give her a follow. Say hi. She does excellent chainmail work. Yeah, I have done a lot, but I haven't been here for 2 weeks. I've got one ring left to add to this, and then it's all done. Right? It's almost all done. The next thing I have to do is find a way to secure these ball bearings into the sides of the cube. There's 16 pockets, and I want them, like, I've got some, what are these, 12 gauge half-inch rings here, right? So that might go over the top and use a little connector to hold them in place. We'll see what happens. We'll see how I can figure that out. You're doing good? That's good to hear. So I am going to throw this ring in here. I've got two plans for tonight. I'm going to add this ring. We're going to finish this cube up. And then we'll work on adding the ball bearings later. But then I've got the pipe in for the display portion of it. And I've got paper towels and gloves because the pipe is covered in gunk for transport. So, all right. A lot of viewers tonight. Good job. Thanks. It's first time I've been on in a hot minute. Thanks for sharing live. Appreciate you. Did I capture ball bearings per layer? Amanda, how you doing? Yeah, so there's 6 ball bearings in here already. And I'm going to add 16 more for a total of 22. Started a new job yesterday. It's going well so far. Don't like using pressurized deep fry. Ooh. Right on. Congratulations. For art, AJ. For art. How you doing? It'll make more sense as the stream goes on. Granted, it hasn't made a lot of sense up until now. I think people can finally see the realization of the cube portion of this and what it is. Getting the ball bearings in there is going to be a trick, and getting it up on the display is going to be a trick. I might need to add a few more pieces of pipe to this. We will see what happens. How are my fingers doing? I mean, they're all healed up right now. I forgot to grab a Band-Aid to protect my knuckles. And for any of you who are wondering who I'm talking to, I'm live on multiple platforms right now. Facebook, Instagram, or no, not Instagram. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X, and TikTok. So if you want an overhead view, looks cool. Thank you. How heavy is it? It's going to be about 32 pounds when it's done. It's probably like 29 and a half, 30 right now. Gonna make sure these things match. I did find I found 2 rings while I was out. I was out because I got the dreaded, I had my access removed from the clock app, and I don't know why. I don't know if someone just like swung by and reported the stream or something. And then my air conditioning went out. And it was too hot in my house to work down here. My pliers were slipping. I was able to get a bunch of the smaller rings worked through, but that was all I could do. Now I have a new air conditioner, and I have a new coil in my furnace area. Something, I don't know, I'm not an AC guy. But, geez, yeah. It's heavy and difficult to work with now. So, but it is a crap ton of rings. The original total was going to be 42,560 rings. And I subtracted about 840 of those. And so the new ring count is whatever 42,560 minus 840 is. Once we get this section put on, that's what it'll be. So it's a ton of rings. It's been a ton of work. It's a Persian chain. No, my website's still up. So this, I would show you. This is called Sandworm. It's full Persian down the middle with box, individual units of box weave on the outside. And so the inside is definitely Persian. I don't know what box is considered. Like what weave family. But no, please let me know if my website is not running. That may be a problem. All right. So for these stainless rings on the outside that are regular, shiny stainless rings, they are spring stainless. And they are a beast to work with. So I was hoping to be able to grab one of those, what do you call them? The grip strength tester. The grip strength testers before I finished working with these. Because once I go back to smaller, easier to work with rings, it's not going to stay super strong. But right now I feel like I've got this, you know, pretty well under control, he says right before he slips and gouges his knuckle. You should have it up in the background. It's hard to find people who do chainmail. So all the neat, okay, I can do that from my computer, right? Have like my business name and my logos spinning and everything. TikTok has not given me a code to access their live platform using Streamlabs. And so I've got my Streamlabs running where I have all that, like, well, I have my business name, my logo up there. Not my website. Did I finish that? Is that attached? Did I turn this the wrong way? Yeah, I can get all that through if I stream using the TikTok Live platform, but then I can't stream to Streamlabs, through Streamlabs, right? You understand what you mean? You finished a stainless bracelet for your wife. Those rings were super difficult to work with. Yeah. Here we go. Biblically accurate chainmail. Senor Sneaker, how you doing? And then I had in my bio my link tree on mobile, and I thought it was on desktop, but then someone was having trouble finding it, and it has disappeared from mobile and desktop, and I don't know what happened to it. So I have yet to put it back up, but we can do this. Let's see here. Copy, paste, send. That is my link tree right there for the Mailworks app, the coffee, the Discord is inside the app. It's a web app, so you don't have to download anything. What else? There's my website, there's all my socials, all that fun stuff. And I need to, once I'm done with this cube, I've probably got another 10 hours left getting these ball bearings to sit in there the way I want. Right? Once I'm done with that, I've got a bunch of computer to do, a commission, and then I get to pick whatever project I want to work on next. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands of Byzantine on here after this, and then it's done. And then we'll put on we'll start building the display. Start putting that together. What am I thinking for the next project? I've got a large cube started, right? And what I want to do is build the large cube and raffle it off, and then use whatever excess rings I have to make smaller cubes and sell those. If I want to do anything else, I've got to get some funding for some of these projects. So large cube raffle, and then a couple smaller ones. I don't know how many I have enough rings for, but is this really the best angle to work from? There we go. And then after that, it's winter time, and I've got I got the motorcycle, gas tank bib, and toolkit to wrap and cover in chainmail. Do I have a kit for this weave? No, I don't. It's on the Mail Artisans page. That's where I got this weave from. I made it years ago, and originally this started out as a pine cone sculpture. That was my goal. That is what I had used, or I had bought these rings, and I had made some sandworm with it. So with the leftover rings, I was like, all right, let me see if I can make a dragon scale pine cone sculpture. And these rings that I made from the small rings using the sandworm weave were not big enough, were not structurally sound enough for the dragon scale pine cone. So I've got to figure out a different, what do you call it? I've got to figure out a different weave for the dragon scale pine cone sculpture. All right. And as far as a rain chain goes, I've never made one. I've seen one made. And that's because it's an exterior sculpture, right? I think the one I've seen made was out of bronze, and they had, is it brazing? It wasn't bronze, it was brass. And they had connected all of their rings. And it's not welding when you connect brass, the ends of brass together. I think it's brazing. I don't know. But yeah, they had made a huge rain chain, and it was very solid. Was it? Yeah, it was Kirk. I think it was Kirk Nelson. An absolute genius at chainmail. Speaking of absolute geniuses of chainmail, I got a comment from another absolute genius of chainmail who said in an unfinished picture of this that it should be in a museum, and that made my day. Right? It was high praise from someone who I've got a tremendous amount of respect for. They're a very skilled chainmail artist, and I was just like, that just makes me feel really good about this project when other really good chainmail artists are like, yeah, that's definitely something you made there. Yeah, Kirk Nelson made the rain chain. He made a comment to me before on a different project, and I gave both genius chainmail artists the same response. I said, I'm framing this comment. You're working on ideas for a rain chain? Right on. Yeah, I've never tried one. If I did, I'd have to research really, how to go about doing it. Because you want to anchor them into a drain. You want to make sure they can't be pulled apart by passers-by. Heck yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice feeling, So, and as far as whether or not I'll be doing large pieces for a while, I haven't been doing large pieces for a while. I have done several large pieces, but moving forward, I have several large pieces planned. That's my goal. My goal is to do 10 to 15 large chainmail pieces, and find a metal art gallery and put them on display and hopefully sell them. Mexican Santa, how you doing? You're thinking small scale, almost wind chime feeling? Oh, that'd be cool. Mexican Santa, what's going on? How have you been? It's nice to see so many familiar faces. I have not been on in 2 weeks, and we got the new air conditioner installed today, and it's so nice. And it's like, oh. Great, you feel 1 year older. Right on. Happy birthday. Excuse me. Am I playing Aerosmith? Yes. Well, let's see here. Let me double check. Oh, crap. I can't play that, can I? Ah, stop playing. Stop playing. Let's try this again. YLT free music. So, I have a subscription for what is it called? Hang on, it's called Pretzel Rocks, right? And it's not working, and I restarted my computer before all of this. And it's still not working. So let's just hope this just plays. I think this list played last time. You turned 13, flip it. You were at work all day, just got home. Right on. I'm surprised they let me get away with it that long, too. I'll probably get a warning on YouTube and it'll be removed. But I don't have enough fans on YouTube to be monetized or anything. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It's the same name over on YouTube. But I got to do a lot of work over there anyway as far as organizing my videos and adding clips and getting everything straightened out because it's a mess. And YouTube doesn't like me very much. So what was I saying? Yeah. Pretzel Rock, got a subscription to it, and it's not working, and I don't know why. So we're listening to royalty-free music on YouTube, and I was just refreshing YouTube whenever it got stuck on an ad, and it skipped over to Aerosmith accidentally without me noticing because I'm trying to manage multiple different things all at the same time. So yeah, and you know what, Mac? They might not have let me get away with it. I don't have my YouTube stream up on screen. I rely on Streamlabs to let me know. It is what it is. All right. Last ring in this big ring here. Then we'll add some of the smaller Byzantine strips. All right. That's 95 of these large rings into this 3x3 cube. So the cube portion is done. I don't have to do that right now. I can ignore that and just leave it off to the side. Gonna add some little... Oh no, what have I done? No, that's... Oh, I screwed up. I didn't add one there. Alright, well, we'll figure it out. Alright, thanks, okay. You're so talented, you start knowing exactly what it's going to become? No, like I said, it was going to be a pine cone. That was what I started out attempting. And then it didn't work out that way, and I was like, I wonder what I can make with all these rings. And using this weave, right? For the pine cone, right, I've got this captured inverted round here. We'll see how... The pine cone is just a little dragon scale cone wrapped around in on itself. And so you have two different sizes of rings in dragon scale. And I'm, Amy, I know you know this. I'm just iterating for the crowd. So I have to have a large ring that is structurally solid. And then the smaller ring, I don't know how solid it has to be, but we will figure that out eventually. All right. But yeah, that was what I started out making, and then I had made one of the sandworm rings, and I was like, okay, that kind of looks like it would work for a cube or JPL, and so I started putting a cube together, and I thought, Let me, the sandworm rings are not round, they're odd-shaped, and so they weren't holding themselves like a normal cube would. That's how the black and stainless got added. And re-rounding all the out-of-round black and stainless rings added about 6 weeks to this project. So no, don't slip off. Don't slip off. Come on. Get in there. But I have all of those done and some extra, and now it's just a matter of getting it all together. Your dad taught you how to make chain when you were young? Never did anything like that, though? Most people don't. This is an absurd amount of chainmail that I've made. How flat can I get this? This is a solid structure. It's 9 inches by 9 inches on each side. How you doing, Kosher? What's going on? All right. Okay, you were just over there. Sub still up? Okay, right on. Looks amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Mick. I appreciate you. So we'll get all this together and then put a few pieces of the galvanized display up. Move that out of the way. And then weaving this is super awkward, right? Like, there are several times when I've been like weaving upside down and backwards and it gets really sketchy. So I don't recommend anyone do that. It's just, this was a silly project that got way out of hand. So, and this is not, okay, so I mentioned that I want to make 10 to 15 of these, take them to an art gallery, and put them out on display and hopefully make lots of money, right? Well, I got to fund the other 14 of those projects. And then, this is just, it's not the way to make money with chainmail. So, you know, if you want to start a business or even just support a hobby, right? Make a lot of small things with the fewest number of rings possible and put them in front of as many people as possible, right? And I'm not an expert. It's just the people who I know support themselves making chainmail. That is what they do. They don't make, they might have a few obscenely large projects like this, but they don't plan on making 10 or 15. You know what I mean? It's funny. You're just going to ask if it was hard to get good closures. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That has to weigh as much as an engine. It weighs about 30 pounds. So, like 300 Lego engines with the batteries and all the drive shafts and everything. I don't know. I don't know how much Lego engines weigh. I need to turn this on its side. But yeah, getting around all these little areas and then constantly flipping this thing around, trying to get it to where I need it to go. But it's a ridiculous amount of weight, hence why using 1-inch galvanized pipe to hopefully hold it up. I'm hoping that the pipe can hold it up, you know what I mean? I think it can. It seems structurally sound, so what is that? Okay, there we go. Just realized you have a little baby version of this on your keys. Crazy thinking about the size comparison. Yeah. Yeah, most cubes, to give you a reference, most chainmail cubes are a little smaller or a little bigger than this. Right? And so, for a size comparison, you know, this is ridiculously large. This is not the largest. There is one being worked on by the admin of the large chainmail group over on Facebook. And his is going to have 750,000 rings in it. And right now he has like a 2 foot by 2 foot square that is 2 inches thick. And last time I talked to him, I think he said he's at 65,000 rings woven. Found a fishing tackle company that sells stainless steel jump rings in bulk. Fishing tackle companies also have good split rings. Some of them. And so I'm going to be ordering a bunch of split rings from probably a fishing tackle company so that I can finish my scale work, because the scales that I have that I need to either, you know, make into a shirt or add to a shirt or something. The split rings I have for them do not want to cooperate. So, but there are companies that make chainmail rings for chainmail, right? In stainless steel and a multitude of other materials. Okay, so this is where it gets fun. There's no other way to reach this area except by going around the entire cube, and I can't hardly see what I'm doing. Yeah, but I want to say there's about 16 different chainmail ring manufacturers that I am aware of. And all of them, you know, there's several that have a whole lot of materials, and then several smaller shops that have, you know, 2 or 3 materials. Yeah, split rings are like key rings, and they're useful, especially for scales. But the issue I had with the split rings that I used is that they would open up, but then they would stay open. And couldn't get them closed again. So I'm like, if I'm gonna, like, I'm not gonna wear this up against my skin because there's a bunch of, oh wow, I lost that ring, didn't I? You were thinking about making some kind of capture with lights in it. I wish that I had been able to add lights to this sculpture, and I have another plan to add lights. Chugaduck, thank you for the dinos. Appreciate you. I have a plan for some lampshades. We're going to see how that works out, but that it's going to be a bit before that plan happens. It's like I will find 2 lamps. I don't need them to have lampshades. I just need the lamp. And then I will make the lampshade, and then I will wrap the lamp. That's my plan. I like wrapping stuff with chainmail. It's one of my MOs. Done a lot of beer steins and coffee cups and other various things. It's like, it's a trick to get a weave to. Oh, and I've done a lot of bottles, right? A lot of chainmail wrapped bottles. This doesn't want to go. There we go. Come on, there we go. So I figure if I can find some bottle-like lamps, then I've got enough experience wrapping stuff like that that, you know, that part will be the easy part, and then the slightly more challenging thing will be getting them, getting the lampshades working. Because here, okay, there are many people who have made chainmail lampshades, right? And because chainmail is heavy, the lampshades are kind of thin, and a lot of light gets out of them, right? And it's just not very shady of a lampshade. So I have an idea to make a shady lampshade, and we'll get to that project when we get to it. But oh, that's cool. You actually got light covers from Temu that you can't wait to decorate. Yeah, see, taking something and then adding chainmail on top of it makes a whole lot more sense to me, for sure. I like to do that a lot. I like to take something and then add chainmail to it, as opposed to, say, making something out of chainmail. All right. I think this is the last strand of Byzantine that I need to add. And then, like, the actual cube portion of this will be done. But like I said, I still want to add the ball bearings, and that's going to take some time. But getting this much accomplished is a huge step. Alright, where was I working now? It's the fun part. Every time this gets flipped, it's like, alright. I mean, I know it's this corner, but... yeah, there it is. Okay. I found it. Okay. Like, this is by feel. I can't see what I'm doing. All right, there we go. There, come on. Helps to have multiple pairs of pliers if you're considering starting in chainmail. I could not reach that with the smaller Zerons. Oh my gosh. You guys. That's it. That's it right there. My solid cube structure. Alright, and this, it's going to hang like this, right? And now we will work on the base. The base display. Oh. Justin, how you doing? Alright, let me see here. Let me hold this up again. So it's going to hang from one corner to this corner down here where the cable's hanging out, right? The cable where the cable's coming out up top. And hopefully, like, it feels pretty good. I don't think it's going to tear itself apart. It is complete, Iowa man. The only thing I have to do now is I've got 16 ball bearings to tuck into these pockets here, right? And I'm not 100% certain how I'm going to go about doing that, but I've got some ideas and I'll get them in there. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Deadpool Scan, how you doing? So, yeah. Whew. All right. Sorry for knocking the camera around. I'll move that to the side. Let me grab... Okay, I need some gloves. I need some paper towels. This pipe that I'm using for the display. It's covered in grease. Now what are you gonna watch? This project is what drew me to your channel originally. Well, I hope that I can come up with something else, Mech. I really do. Alright, so first thing is this right here, right? This, okay, I have this, what I think is like a hickory shovel handle, right? That broke on me a long time ago, and it's just been sitting on my garage. And I was watching Facebook or TikTok or something, and they had someone make a mace, right? And put it on the end of a handle of some kind, and they filled this with a shot of some kind. And I was like, well, I've got this shovel handle sitting here, so let me see if I can figure that out. So I gotta trim this down a little bit and then thread it, and I'll do that. Use some Loctite, get it all nice and glued up in there, and then fill it with some shot, and then tighten the ends, right? And then we'll have some fun. We'll smash some watermelons or something. So I've got all these pieces. Let's see if we can't put some of this together somewhat and make this all make sense for everyone. This was going to be bigger. Dad left you a Byzantine necklace he made, but it pulls out your hair to wear it. Dirksek. This stuff is wild. you might be able to find a chainmail artist in your area to clean that necklace up. I don't know if that is something you're looking to do, but it shouldn't be pulling your hair. And it may need, I don't know, depending on the material you're using, it may need to be tumbled, just in case it never was. Oh, this is fun. I'm not liking not having music. Or if you have a rock tumbler, right, of your own, just kind of wipe these down a little bit because this is ridiculous. So there's not going to be a lot of room between the display and the cube itself. It should, I'm going to try and get it as relatively centered as I can. Yeah, but look at all this crap coming off there. Yeah, that'd be nice. It's all really old, needs a full clean. You'll look into it. Yeah, so like if you have a rock tumbler or if you want to go to Harbor Freight or something, you can grab one for relatively cheap, you know. But it might be worth trying to find someone that has all that already. You know? You just got your rings to start your Jack Skellington inlay? Oh, right on. That'll be cool. So, all of this should go... I don't know, like, if it's going to go together real easy. I have a wrench down here, but now I'm looking at this. This isn't... I don't think it's going to fit, to be honest. I have some semblance of an idea of how this is going to go together. And we're just gonna find out together. How does that sound? I did get an order of rings in that I have yet to look at. I'm going to be very, I'm going to study them very closely before I start working with them. But I didn't have time to make a mail opening video before I started the live for that package. So I'll make that video tomorrow and then take a good long look at everything. You're excited to see the magic? I am too. I wish I could have done like lights for this project with the pipe display because they offer that, right? If you go to pipedecor.com, that's where I got these pipes from. And here, okay, so here is something pipedecor.com needs to do, right? And I'm going to email them about this, right? They need to have it set up so that you can go in there, pick your parts. No, you go to a blank screen. On the left-hand side are your pipe sizes and your fittings, right? And what material, okay? Then you click what you need, and they need to have it so that you can build what you want to build so that you know, and then when you're done building what you want to build, you click purchase and it buys everything that you put out there, right? So that's what they need. I'm going to email them about that because I was kind of miffed when I drew out my design and then I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get like some kind of pipe turner or something because this is not. I can get these about some of the way in. I don't know. I don't know anything about... Never mind. Dude, just the way you put on gloves, you can tell you've been in the medical field. Yeah. You need to make more designs with your uranium glass rings? Heck yeah. It's one of those things, uranium glass, one of those things that, like, if it's labeled uranium glass and it comes across in the right person, they'll spend, you know, money to obtain it. It's like, I know people that collect uranium glass and they have just whole china cabinets dedicated to uranium glass. Joe, I'm making a display for this cube behind me. And I ordered some pipe to put all this together, and then you have a couple friends that collect it and they both have shelves full? Yeah. It's, you know, it's, people just get passionate about it. I don't know if that's gonna work. Screw it, we'll just keep putting it together. Do their pets and children have 3 eyes now? You know, I don't know what, like, the long-term concern is for having uranium glass in your house. I just have no idea. Well, this needs to face the other way. Oh good, I used the wrench for something. Okay, we're getting scarily close to that camera. The rubber gloves are giving me more grip than I would have had. Because this is, like I mentioned previously, this is covered in crap. So... Alright. That went together fairly well. Pretty happy with that. I'm not sure you'd be saying those words while also making things with pipes. Yeah. That's a lot of money in nipples and fittings. I hope that's what you wanted. Yeah, you know. Okay. I might need longer legs. I'm not going to lie. Well, okay, so I have more gloves if I need them. I can take one glove off. Yes, it's, you like going to antique stores with a UV flashlight to find stuff not labeled as uranium glass? Yeah. And it is definitely a good thing I raised the camera, for sure. I'm going to set that right there for a minute. Should have moved that before I even started. Alright, let me kick this music back on. I apologize for the delay. Oh, there we go. I didn't even touch anything. Alright. I want to change this camera angle too. Sorry, I'm steering with my left hand. Okay. Grab another glove here. So let me back up here. I've got to drill a hole here, right, for the cable, and then drill a hole here. I'm gonna have to go buy a drill bit to do that, right? But does everybody get the gist of this? Like I said, I might need some longer legs for this. And now, actually I will, so I don't put pressure on that big ring there. I might be able to use this to support. I don't want to get this all like. I'm going to go with no. Okay. That is how it's going to be displayed, essentially. After we get all the ball bearings in it. That tore up my glove. Whew. Yeah, it's getting ridiculously heavy. Okay, let me get this all cleaned up here. Alright. That can stay over there. Preferably, I'm gonna move this display out of the way. And May said, is that all chainmail? Yeah, that cube is all chainmail. Oh, that hurt my neck. I'll be alright. I promise. Whew. Don't try to put on gloves if you don't have. I don't need a glove for this. I just need some paper towels. All right. Hang on 2 seconds. That's better. All right, and the mace head. This will be fun when it's all put together. But let me get it out of the way for right now. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. All right. Okay. How we doing? This having to select the music every time is for the birds, I tell you what. Yeah, what are these? These are armrests. I need a 3/4 drill bit, right? Trying to get them put into place. But the way they attach, this is 3/4 of an inch, and I only have a 1/2 inch drill bit. And I want to go through the whole desk so they stop moving around. So, I'm not going to clean up the pad, the craft pad here. Just going to grab another project and hang out for a little bit. And chat. And then I'll clean this all up later. You need some? Actually, I need to clean it up, but I still have work to do on this giant cube over here. Alright. So this is my next large cube that I'm going to raffle off, right? Just get taller shoes. That's my goal, is to raffle it off. Or have someone buy it from me directly. And then that way I don't have to, that way I can fund the next project. Whichever one of those ideas I have is the next one I work on. That isn't a basement project. I do have some work to do before I do the next art project, shall we say. In my continued effort to clean up the mess I have down here in the basement without adding to it, right? Lots of stuff to do. So all of the rings that you see here tonight were purchased from the Ring Lord. I just spent 6 weeks re-rounding a bunch of... we're getting the puzzle piece of death. Hang on. I just spent a bunch of weeks re-rounding a bunch of rings from TRL for this cube project over here. So right now, as they're in between owners, the new ones get settled in. They find out like which products are not working. Hopefully they will get sorted through all the bad stock that the previous owner screwed up. So just be careful that if you order from the Ring Lord, double check what you order. Make sure it's like of decent quality. Otherwise, ask for your money back. But I have made rings before, and I do plan on making rings again in the future. Ideally, so that I'm not breaking the bank every time I try to make a large sculpture. And rings they're not... From the Ring Lord, that's your best wholesale value, but you're also getting what you pay for right now. They have made a promise to improve their quality control. So we'll see where that goes. You can get very expensive rings from other manufacturers, right? And then, the more detailed your project, the more it's going to cost. Do I ever pre-close rings? No. Not if I don't have to, right? For this big cube project, I had to pre-close every single ring of the blackened stainless because they were all out of round. So, but other than that, I pick up a ring, I weave it, I call it a day. Move on to the next one. So, if it's not because, I don't think it's faster, but I never picked up on that habit because of speed. I picked up on that habit because if I start pre-closing or pre-opening rings for a project, unless I have to do it for a color pattern, so that I can keep track, I don't do it because I will start closing rings, and then next thing you know, I'm opening a bunch of rings, and then I I have a pile of half open, half closed rings, and half of them get woven into the project anyway. So I avoid it all together. And don't do it because I get confused too easily. You've made rings, you want to know if you made out of aluminum it would hold up. Okay, so if you make something, it depends on your ring size, right? 16 gauge, 1/4 inch. This is aluminum that I'm using right here. I think it's 15/64. Hang on. I have calipers for a reason. If you're going to get started into chainmail, you need a pair of digital calipers, right? Don't buy. There are high-end analog calipers, but I have some really low-end analog calipers, and so 11/64 is the ring size that I'm working with. And that's the inner diameter of the ring. And this won't tell me the gauge. The wire is a 1/16 of an inch thick. Always be sure to turn off your calipers. They will run out of battery very quickly if you don't. And your scales. I learned that the hard way. You need some calipers for your wire wrapping? Yeah. There's a lot of like little tools that are relatively cheap that you can add to just improve your work and just to know what you're working with, and it's great. So alright, this is going to end up being a 15 by 15 row cube here. I believe I have enough rings for that. And this was actually 2 smaller cubes. And I wove them together for some reason. Oh, my nose. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Bear with me here for a second. I want to tell you a story, and it's a silly thing, but just before I was away for 2 weeks due to unforeseen circumstances, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was in a maze, pushing a cart of some kind, and I had a partner in the game, and like we walk into an area, there's like this pond with a bridge over it, right? And there's a person there, and we push the cart and we go over the bridge, and then we go and we turn a corner, and it's a dead end, but there's a room up above. So the other person I'm playing this game with jumps up on the cart and jumps up there, and there's an enemy up there, right? And I'm like, oh crap, I'm freaking out in the stream. And I open up the cart and there's a bunch of weapons. And I go to throw this other person a weapon, and like as I'm swinging it, my arm gets caught in my sheet, and I wake up, and I immediately felt guilty that I had let down the person, you know, because they were about to get beaten by the enemy because they didn't have a weapon, and I felt like really bad about it. It's like all because my arm got caught. If my arm had not been under the sheet and I had rolled over, I probably would have kept dreaming had I been able to throw the weapon up to this other person. Anyway, I thought that was like Really funny when it happened. Did I have a dream about a man named Jed? No. I don't know any Jeds, do I? No, I do. I know a Jed. He was a mechanic with me out in Iraq. Jed Turner. There were 2 Turners. I think one of them was him. Oh, I said let me tell you a little story. Good thing it woke you up because you might have punched your wife. Yeah. Nah, she's on, like, I was on my left side and she's on the other side. Oh, yeah. But yeah, physical altercations while you're sleeping is, it's a thing. It's a thing. So, it was fun. Feel like it's been a hot minute. Got to get up early and have a good night. Hey, Amy, have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening. Can't wait to look forward to see what you do with those uranium rings. Oh, here's another fun story. Not about a man named Jed. There is an inspirational chainmail artist, and she put chainmail on her saddlebags several years ago, long before I ever started mine. And so when I was wrapping up mine earlier this year, from Christmas last year into, when did we finish? March of this year on the saddlebags. You'll definitely post goodnight. All right, have a good one. Appreciate you. So, she made her saddlebags years before I did, right? Because I just did mine this year. Finally got off my lazy butt and finished, got around to it. Well, anyway, when I got my saddlebags finished, I went looking for this person. I was like, I know I'm friends with her. I don't know what happened. And just during these past 2 weeks, I saw a post from her that said, oh, finally got my account back after 10 months or something. I was like, oh, okay, that's where you've been. That makes more sense. Like, I wasn't blocked. She wasn't gone. Just a Facebook being Facebook kind of thing. Right? So, I finally got to show her my saddlebags. She said they were really cool. And that gave me dopamine, so... Dad got into a fight in his sleep and punched your mom in the nose. It woke him up. When he realized what he did, he quickly grabbed her to check on her. Can't imagine what your mom was thinking. She gets punched in the face and then grabbed while she's sleeping. Yeah. No, I have, it's like, my wife's caught an elbow, for sure. And I get kicked a lot. Motorcycle. My motorcycle saddlebags. They're in... I need to make more videos of them. But I need to make more videos of a lot of things. And as I sat here... Okay, to give you some perspective on how many rings are in this cube, how many blackened stainless rings are in this cube, there's... hang on. There's a little less than 26,000, right? These rings are bigger than those rings. Okay, so there were more of those rings in here. This was full, right? And I had a whole other Hillshire Farms Go Meat container full of the black and stainless rings. So that was what I was doing during those 2 weeks, right? And I didn't make any videos, I didn't make any content, and it was too hot to do that anyway. But I need to make more video content, and I need to make more video content on my saddlebags specifically. So, but yeah, they are on my Road King, and I did not get out and ride. I should just go take a fall ride. It's nice and like 70s, 80s. The issue was the humidity, right? So without the AC on, the carpet felt wet. It's like, and you're standing there and just sweating, and it's uncomfortable, and it's gross. How many rings are going to go into a 15 by 15 cube? I don't know. I've got, let me look here. Set, 10 rows. Let's go 15. 40,500. Okay. No, that's not right. Not that. Not an offset cube. Okay, that's much better. 18,299 rings in. That'll be in this cube when it's done. Will stainless make sparks? Yeah, absolutely. So if I ever go down, my motorcycle vest is covered in stainless, right? I've got chainmail all over my motorcycle vest, and I've got chainmail on my saddlebag. So if I ever go down, I hope it's at night, and I hope someone has a camera, because I want to see the spark trail. I'd rather not go down at all. I've been down once before. It's not fun. But, you know, if you ride motorcycles, it's not a matter of if, it's when. So I just try to be real careful. Who am I kidding? I don't. Knock on wood. Not much else has happened the past 2 weeks. I did get a call from my dad. He's getting a pacemaker. Or he was being talked to by his doctor to get one. Oh, he wasn't thinking you crashed. You were thinking for the bottom plates on your one wheel. Oh, there you go. I hope you don't ever crash. Yeah, I hope I don't ever crash either. I hope you don't ever crash either. I've heard some tales of those one wheels. Yeah. So if you don't know, my dad had a heart attack recently, and he is doing well, but he's still like really tired. And that's because his heart's not raising its rate whenever he like does exercise. And so he's looking at a pacemaker. Renee, how you doing? What ring size do you recommend for a jelly cube in stainless steel? So I would recommend the size I'm working with right now, which I believe this is 16 gauge standard wire gauge. Not American wire gauge, standard wire gauge, right? And this is 16 gauge 11/64. I think. I can tell you, the inner diameter was 11/64 for sure. But let's get you millimeters on the ring size here, on the wire size. I don't want fractions, I want millimeters. All right, 1.47 millimeters is the diameter of the wire. And any website you order that from, hang on. Zero that. Okay, now it's saying 1.52. Okay, so 1.52 millimeters in diameter for the wire, and then the inner diameter of the ring is 11/64. So I would get that ring size. Personally, it's a good size for a cube. You're very welcome. Just remember, no, you don't. Okay. Get the measurements in millimeters for the wire diameter, and then you don't have to worry about American wire gauge or standard wire gauge. I have a chart somewhere. I'm going to put it on the MailWorks app, and then we can reference that moving forward. This, it's 30 pounds. That gauge would be crazy difficult using stainless. I mean, yeah. I've used 16 gauge American wire gauge to 16 gauge 3/16 American wire gauge to make a cube. It's not impossible. Just be sure to use the right pliers, you know? Like, if the rings I was working with right now were stainless, I would not be using Xerons for that. I don't know what pliers I would be using. I would probably order some. Yeah, so we finished this. The cube is done, right? Like, all the rings are put on here. Done and ready to go. And then I want to add these ball bearings into the pockets that go around the edge. Or that go around the outside, rather. And secure these in here somehow. And there's 16 spots for these. So I got to do that. But I got the pipe, the galvanized pipe in for the display. And it's ready to go. It might need some longer legs, I'm not going to lie. I don't remember what size I ordered, but it's like I don't want the I don't want the square footage to take up too much space. So I think, like, from one side to the other, it's only a foot. So I might need to go out to 18 inches, right? So that it doesn't topple over. This 12 seems a little sketchy. You're gonna hop off. Have a great night, man. Good to see you. Mac, it's good to see you too. I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for hanging out. I'm about out of here myself. That is one thing. I hope to be doing longer streams soon. More videos and longer streams. I've been told that's the trick to really getting your numbers up. And if you have stuff in your TikTok shop, which I don't have right now, that's really the way to get it, you know, in front of people. So, more streams, longer streams, more videos. MG honestly want it to fall and get damaged. Right. Don't want it to fall. Don't want it to hurt anyone. Want it to sit on the display, hopefully in some natural light, in someone's front window, after they pay me a lot of money for it. So, that would be ideal. But it's probably going to be a while before it sells. Just because I want to make 10 to 15 more large sculptures like that and, you know, take them to an art gallery and try and sell them there. We'll see what happens. This is just regular aluminum, just bright aluminum. Yeah, I've got over 400 hours on the cube, but a lot of that was fixing ring issues. It wasn't necessarily working on the cube, right? And yeah, the material was quite spendy. I did have some to start with. But then when I decided to make a cube, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to order a lot more. You not know you can get... Yeah, it's called bright aluminum. And it's just aluminum rings, not anodized. And like anodization, that I've talked about this before, but I like to use it for static pieces. Pieces that aren't going to be handled like inlays. People, you know, they're going to hang up on a wall and they're going to chill there, and people are going to look at them and not be in direct sunlight, right? Because as jewelry, it's great for costume jewelry. Your anodized aluminum is going to react to people's skin. It's going to react to the sunlight. It's going to react to being moved around a lot. So, bright. Like the sun is very bright on this cloudless day. Right? Yeah. Is yours the same Zerons where they work for a 14 gauge stainless steel, or is it better just for... I don't really use these for 16 gauge much. I really don't use Zerons for anything over 18 gauge. American or standard wire gauge. So for 14 gauge stainless steel, I've got... What have I got? Ah, no, don't do that. What are these? Berkeley. These are an off-brand that are heavily modified by a friend of mine. Right? I have not worked with them a lot. I don't... It's because I haven't worked in that ring size a lot. Is that Christmas rock? Yeah, it's just whatever YouTube is playing that's not copyrighted. Right? Because my Pretzel Rock subscription is not working for some reason. So I don't know what's going on. But... So, I know that Josh DeLiberto sells some modified pliers. I think the Ring Lord has some heavier duty pliers as well. I'm trying to think of the brand name that I'm trying to think of. It's not Lindemann, it's not Knipex, it's the one I can never think of. And it eludes me right now. But for plier recommendations, if you go to the group Chain Mail, CHAIN space MAILLE on Facebook, and just search plier recommendations or pliers, you'll see a lot of options in there, and people discuss all the time what to use for heavier duty stuff. So, you have the Josh Paul pliers you recommend you to get them? They're great? Right on. Yeah, I think those should be good for 14 gauge. But I don't have them, so put some more tennis racket grip stuff. Nice. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. All right. So for everyone following along, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I make chainmail. And we got this big, beautiful cube sculpture almost all the way done. Got to add some ball bearings to it, but other than that, oh, and we got to suspend it on the display that we put together tonight. So that is what we did this evening. Sorry for the shaky camera. It is 10 o'clock. I'm gonna put my link tree in the comments. Paste here. Because it's not showing up on Control E. It's not showing up on my TikTok. So, but there's my link tree. In it, you'll find a web app that you don't have to download anything. It just opens up. There's a Discord inside there. There's where to find other chainmail artists, where to find suppliers, where to find tutorials, tool recommendations. I am, hopefully, once I get this all buttoned up and finished, I'm going to sit down and make all the icons match and make it look a little prettier, and I'm going to add some stuff to it because there's a bunch of other chainmail resources that are needing to be added to the app. So go to the link tree, open up the app, take a look around, stop by my website, it's myusername.com, and if you're here right now and you use discount code livestream, all one word, lowercase, you'll get 20% off anything you order in the store. And to everyone who has purchased something, thank you for purchasing something. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me fund these projects and spread the awareness of chainmail in the world. And for that, I thank you. Also, please follow along on all my other socials. They are all also listed in the link tree. And I will get my computer work done soon. We're gonna get to that, but it is 10 o'clock. Got to go upstairs, make sure my kid's in bed, all that fun stuff. Like I mentioned previously, more videos and longer streams hopefully coming soon to a feed near you, but I'm gonna get out of here. All right, you all have a wonderful evening. Sorry about the music. I will see if I can't figure that out before my next stream. But yeah, you all have a good night. Bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.